Well, Psalms 29:1 and Psalm 97:6, they ascribe to the Lord glory and strength for Israel's God. In this portrayal of the priest, it is really unclear whether the epithet angelomorphic would do justice to the degree of exaltation in view. You see, he's calling it angelomorphic, but it's even greater than that in this text. Now, this is fascinating. He says, by virtue of his clothing, and he says Exodus 28, remember, and go read that one, Aaron is identified with Israel's one God because of his clothing. A similar remarkable anthropology is developed in chapter 50, where Sirach pens a hymn in praise of the high priest Simon, son of Onias. Now, Onias was the ancient circle drawer. Robert Eisenman, Hugh Nibley, James C. Vanderkam, several people have discussed this Onias character as a circle drawer. He's a rainmaker in the tradition of Elijah. Very interesting here. Well, in Sirach 50, 6 and 7, we are told that Simon is like the morning star among the clouds. Simon is like the full moon at the festal occasion, like the sun shining on the temple of the Most High, like the rainbow gleaming in splendid clouds. Now, this imagery describing Simon in these texts, the astral language of verse 6 is broadly coterminous with an angelic identity. For instance, he's described as the morning star. Compare Job 38:7 and the second half of verse 7, and do that. These are excellent scriptures here. This portrays Simon in terms of the angelomorphic form of God's glory, seated on the chariot throne in Ezekiel 1, verses 26 and 27. In Ezekiel 1:28, this glory is also like the bow in a cloud on a rainy day. So you see the various themes coalescing together and coming together here with this description of such an important human being being elevated into an exalted, godly status. Very powerful theme in the scriptures here. This is what we are made for. Yes, we are saved by grace. We are saved from our death. We are saved from our humanity, because our destiny is not here on this earth. We're pilgrims, wayfarers, wanderers in a strange land. You know, that's a very famous, Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress and so on and so forth. This is not our final home. It's not our final destiny. Ours is for the glory in the councils of the gods, because that's our family. That's our real eternal family, as so many scholars have noted this theme. The angels are part of this. We are part of this. Very encouraging. It's a gospel of hope, isn't it? It really is. Well, by comparison, a more somber account of the priestly vocation is given in Jubilees 31, verses 13 and 15, where Isaac blesses his grandson, Levi. And he, Isaac, turned to Levi first, and began to bless him first, and he said to him, "May the Lord of all ages," well, looks like we've got some hunters out here. Beautiful day to be out. "May the Lord of all the ages, bless you and your sons in all ages. May the Lord give you and your seed very great glory. May he make you and your seed draw unto him from all flesh to serve in the sanctuary as the angels of the presence and the holy ones. May your sons' seed be like them with respect to glory and greatness and sanctification. May he make them great in every age, and they will become judges and rulers and leaders of all the seeds of the sons of Jacob." See, biblically, the closest parallel to this elevation of Levi, so see, we've had Aaron, we've got Moses, we've got the high priest, we've had Simon, now we have Levi. You see, it's not just one or two humans odd out. No. This is the theme that is going to trickle down and infiltrate all of Israel as a corporate entity to become the sons and daughters of God. It means that literally. Leonore Leet was huge on that in her magnificent, she wrote about 4 books on the Kabbalah. The Secret Doctrine of the Son is the deification of all of Israel. Well, he says the closest parallel to Levi, to a service offered in God's sanctuaries, quote, as the angels of the present and the holy ones, unquote. You see, this is the deification in the sanctuary. This is big stuff. The closest parallel, interestingly, is Malachi, chapter 2, verses 5 through 7 in the Old Testament. Here, the prophet proclaims that the lips of the priest should guard knowledge, and people should seek instruction from his mouth, for he is the angel of the Lord of hosts. The Hebrew word is malach. He's the messenger. That's the same word for angel from the sanctuary. The malach Adonai, Tzavaot, Hai, or who? Whatever Malachi meant by these words, the author of Jubilees took these as an unequivocal statement of the angel morphism of the Levites in their worship. The theme of glory is in Sirach 45, verse 2 and 8, and chapter 50, verse 7, in the present text. So although it's not explicitly stated whose glory that Levi is to possess, comparison with the Sirach passages would suggest both an angelic glory and the glory of God himself. This is huge. This is really huge. Now, he says Sirach and Jubilees are close literary relations to the Dead Sea Scrolls. So we're getting a conglomeration of literatures here that make significant sense when they're all put together on these various themes that he's discussing. He says they're all the products of a distinctly priestly scribal creativity. So it really shouldn't surprise us then to find that the divine, or the angelomorphic high priest and lawgiver, is a picture that is developed in the Dead Sea Scroll corpus. And it is there. Indeed, we do discover close literary and conceptual patterns between Sirach chapter 45 and 50, Jubilees chapter 31, and several of the Qumran texts. These views of Moses and the high priest are representative of a wider phenomena in late temple, Second Temple Judaism. Such a view of the high priest in Moses is also reflective of a more fundamental theological anthropology. So this theme is coming together now because of these discovered texts, that when we look back onto the Scriptures, they're also in the Scriptures very prominently so. Josephus says that Moses was a divine man, a theos honor in the Antiquities, who was ranked higher than his own human nature. Moses was. He had a human nature, but he also elevated beyond that. And his goal, of course, was to elevate Israel above their human nature also. That's why Moses was the lawgiver. That's also in the Antiquities. In the Hodiot of the Dead Sea Scrolls, the document they call the Hodiot, the righteous have been raised from the depths of human existence to the heavenly heights, where they share the lot of the angels and they experience the life of eternity, the new creation subsequent upon the forgiveness of the sins. So this is the theme. Now on page 296, Fletcher-Louis notes that J.J. Collins has argued that the statement that God gave the vision of Haggai and the Book of Remembrance as an inheritance to Enosh, that's the Aramaic word for man, together with a people of spirit, according to the pattern of his holy ones, this is his fashioning. This should be taken to mean that true humanity, which follows the wisdom of the text, is created in the image of the angels. Collins further suggests that this view of humanity being created after a divine pattern, this view of humanity is derived from a reading of Genesis chapter 1, according to which the creation of Adam in the image and according to the likeness of the Elohim,